Hello everyone, welcome here. Today, we are going to play some X4. And hopefully, start a second industrial station. We'll see. Not going to hold my breath on the second industrial station, but it sure would be nice if we could. Damn it. Got to plug the sticks in. One moment, please. This can necessitate restarting the game, unfortunately. But then one of those annoying ones that can't pick the sticks up if you plug them in after the game started. Or at least it can't on Windows. I've never actually tried it on Linux, I guess. Maybe I should check to see if it can actually detect sticks properly. Why is it processing shaders again? Whatever. Alright, I guess we get to wait a little bit. It doesn't take very long, thankfully. Most of the time. This game takes longer to process shaders than nearly everything else. For some reason. Of course, most of the other games I play are not exactly graphically demanding, let's put it that way. And probably don't actually have that many different shaders. Okay. At least we don't have to wait for 2 minutes for the save to load. That would be tragic. I do not miss the good old days where that was normal. Although it did give me plenty of time to go on dissertations about how it doesn't take this long to load stuff from disk, damn it. And it's clearly evidence of developer incompetence, which it turned out I was correct. It definitely did not take that long to load from disk, and it definitely was a case of developer incompetence. Or at least developer not trying very hard. Looks like this thing's about done. Okay.
Travel mode activated.
Let's pop back through to Mars. Yeah, I don't want to do any of those missions.
Flight assist deactivated. Flight assist activated.
Did I judge it right?
Engine stopped.
No, I very much didn't. Roll axis isn't working. Come on. There we go. I don't know why it does that
Entering
sometimes.
Mars.
It is very annoying, though. Let's see. What do we have for missions? Nothing interesting. All right. Well then. Got 11 million right now.
Engine stopped.
Let's go ahead and examine the Empire as it stands right now. Silicon and ore are filling up nicely now that we've got the large miners going. Workforce is still growing very slowly. Station cash is going up pretty well. Energy cells. We could use a couple more Okinawas. Metallic microlattice are still oversupplied on, but that's fine. If I get a couple of Okinawas, we can turn off buying energy cells. Let's do that. Okay. Let's cut the turrets. Eventually, someday, we will want to add turrets to these things, but for now, we can live without. 5.2 million each. No, that's the chassis cost. 7 million each. All right. Let's go ahead and pull some cash. That should be good. We're gonna have to strip in silicon carbide again, of course. At least 117. Goodbye, money. You'll be missed. Do I have a freighter laying around here? Is not busy. Not really. Floor quarter. Where are you going? You're going to pick up energy cells. Okay. How about you don't do that yet? You pick up all the silicon carbide and computronics you can get. That's good. And then you go all the way out here. Sell that shit to the shipyard. And then when you're done, then you come back here, and you pick up your energy cells. Okay. That'll work, I guess. All right. Let's not accept your delivery. Floor quarter. Have you left already? No. Where are you? There. There we go. Okay. That should take care of those problems. Hello, Dread. Welcome here. Looks like we're coming along quite nicely on building out the worker quarters. All right. Why does this thing even have so many workers? It does, I guess, have 4 of each production module. It seems kind of extreme, though, to require that many workers just for 4 of each. I should probably design a basic station that takes like 1 or 2 of each, and then stamp out 1,000,000 of them. I really wish workers would go up faster. Which I guess is one reason to have multiple stations. But even so, it takes so long to grow the workforce. Just like raise wages or something. Get people to move in more. Oh well.
Travel mode activated.
I'm not sure where to assign the new freighters. I'm almost inclined to assign them both to the energy cell plant and have them roam around trying to sell shit. I think I'll assign at least one to the energy cell plant. And I'm not sure about the last one.
Engine stopped.
Because like this place doesn't really buy that much, but it would be kind of helpful to have it available to go pick up food and medical supplies and stuff like that. It does already have a large freighter, but it definitely wouldn't hurt to have more than one. The problem with the Chimera as a player ship, it's a very powerful and competent combat ship, but also it's got some pretty severe downsides. I do like it over a lot of the other options that are available. I should go on a journey of discovery and visit as many shipyards and wharfs as I can, so I can get a comprehensive catalog of what is readily available. Go through in the ship configurator and figure out what the good options are with the rebalancing. Get all the equipment and stuff like that, so I can look at the gun stats and things like that of that nature. Shield stats, engine stats.
Flight assist deactivated.
This thing might almost be easier to fly without flight assist. Not really, but... because if you're expecting to counteract all of your velocity with the main engines.
Flight assist activated.
Then you're not going to be caught out as much by how much momentum it carries everywhere. He just doesn't turn fast enough to really use the main engines for close maneuvering. Oh well. No ship is perfect, except the Maria. There are a couple of missions that reward Marias. The problem is I only really know how to reliably start one of them. Like the terraforming mission gives you one. You can get them via doing the Terran Yaki quest line. Which I will definitely be doing at some point. Once I have the ability to do so. How much would it cost to get me a loaded katana? Terran Mark IIIs are definitely not what I would want. Speed's not bad for Terran engines, but it's still you can get way better than that. So I'd probably go with the cheapest engines I can easily get. Just stick travel Mark 1s on it for the trip out to split space to buy real engines. Noting that real engines are probably going to cost $4+ million. Combat thruster Mark 3s, of course. Give it a little more rotation versus strafe. Would I want to equip it with Terran shields, or would I want to take it out to split space and get split shields? Because Terran Shield did that 15-second recharge delay, which is brutal. I could also take Frontier Shields, which have a much faster recharge delay, but their rate is way worse. Let's say Frontier Mark IIIs for now, and I would consider getting splits instead. And then for weapons, I would want Meson streams in the outer mounts. And then oh wait, wrong ones. Meson stream 2s. Because those are long range pinpoint weapons. Would I want Meson streams all the way around? They overheat pretty quick and they cool down pretty slow. So probably not. They'd be more of specialist weapons. But then the question is, do I want Meson streams on the inner mounts and plasmas on the outer mounts? I'm kind of tempted to try Meson streams all around, with the idea that I might want to swap out one pair for plasmas or something at a later date if I don't actually end up liking them. The turrets. Probably Meson stream turrets. Unfortunately, both the turrets are on the top side, which less good than it could be. Be nicer if one was on the top, one was on the bottom. Okay, so it costs us 14 million plus another 5-6 million after flying out to split space to equip a katana for appropriate use as a luxury yacht.
Please hold. We'll be scanning your cargo hold.
Alternatively,
All clear.
it could be taken out and equipped with top-tier travel drive engines instead to make a less competent let's take a look at the ship comparator.
Requesting permission to dock.
Make a less competent combat ship. But a much, much faster personal ship. Because that's 9,500 meters a second travel speed, which is real good. Okay. Split shields are like half the capacity. And they're only half the recharge. So I think we'd rather have... Yeah, I'd rather have Frontier shields where possible over split shields. They have twice the recharge delay, but it's only 4 seconds. They recharge just a hair bit faster, and they also have almost twice the capacity. So the Frontier shields are just straight up better. The Center 2 would be...
Please hold. We'll be scanning your cargo hold.
Meson streams.
All clear. Move along.
Oh wait, these don't have compatibility with normal guns. Ugh. Okay. So yeah, I guess it is Meson streams all around then. Ugh. Okay, well. So this would have 600 meters a second normal speed, which is solid. It's not going to be amazing or anything. But then the travel speed is 9,500, which is amazing. Don't splits have Mark IVs and mediums?
Please hold. We'll be
I don't see
scanning
them in
your
the
cargo
list.
hold. All clear. Move along.
So this will get the speed up to 866. So you'd be leaving behind like 250 meters a second of top speed, which is a lot, in exchange for double the travel drive speed. So this would be the I have to go someplace that's a long ways away luxury yacht ship more than anything if I was going to put this together, which means I would probably indeed want to take the parented travel engines. It would be a competent dogfighter, but it wouldn't be the boom and zoom kind of thing it could be. Because the split engines, you would just pull way the hell out. Line up on whoever you want to go away, flip barrel in at top speed, zap it as you go by, blow through the group, go way the hell out, turn around, come back, over and over again. You could still do that with the Paranite engines. And the Terran engines actually would be a strong contender for that exact thing as well. Because while they would be even slower than the Paranite engines, they're not that much slower. What you'd really be gaining is double the boost duration. But then the boost duration between the split engines and the Terran engines aren't that different either. So you'd probably be better off with the split engines. Like the boost recharge is better on the Terran engines. Actually, those are all around Terran engines. Yeah, okay, it's a whole 10 seconds more boost duration on the Terran combats. And the speed is actually faster on the Terran combats than on the split travel, on the parented travels. Like, that's combat engines versus travel engines, of course. But the only way I'd ever put parented engines on a ship is if I was using travel engines anyway, so. Yeah, the split engines would be faster across the board. The only thing you're gaining is the boost duration, boost acceleration. Actually, the boost acceleration's worse on the Terran engines, okay. Boost speed is worse too. Not by a huge amount. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the split engines and just nurse my boost more carefully if I was going to build a combat loadout. The extra boost on the Terran engines is just not worth it. However, I really thought... Yeah, they do have Mark IVs. Why in the hell weren't they showing up in the ship comparator?
Requesting permission to dock. Docking
That's weird. Okay. Man, these things are expensive. 2.2 million a pop for Mark IV split combat engines. Yeah, this thing is cool. 6 guns. Actually, wait, is it 7 guns? It is 7 guns. Really? Okay, but it's only a torpedo or a rocket launcher in the front. Okay. I could have sworn this thing only had 7 guns, though. Maybe they added that. This isn't even the good one. Yeah, you could fit a torpedo launcher on this thing. And that would be kind of useful. Or a dumbfire launcher with heavy dumbfires. Oh, but if I was going to buy a dragon, oh, the correct solution would be to go find the free families and buy a Dragon Raider. The basic dragon is, yeah, it's fine. But the Dragon Raider is where it's at. That thing is a monster. It's got more speed than it knows what to do with. Let's see, the normal dragon. Just do high preset. Combat Mark IVs. 678 speed. And the Dragon Raider's faster than that. Like this thing. You put Mark II plasma cannons in the outer slots. And then you put Mark II plasma cannons in the next slots inboard from that. And then the center 2 slots, you put like tau accelerators or something. Or neutron gatlings, maybe. Or you take the outermost plasmas and you put thermal disintegrators on. And then this thing is a capital ship eating monster. You've got the speed to get in or around the capital ship, get behind it if you want. You've got the guns to just pop anything that looks at you funny as far as surface components go with the plasmas. You've got your dogfighting guns with the plasmas and the tau accelerators. And you have the thermal disintegrators to take the shields out once you've stripped the turrets away. And then you can just sit there and shell it with plasma until it blows up. Or you load it up with a dumbfire launcher and you give it light torpedoes, I guess. I must have renamed them rockets. Not sure how much these do. Doesn't say there. I'd have to go check them in the encyclopedia. Let's see. Okay. 3,600. why would it be using light torpedoes on a dumbfire launcher? Like, I could definitely see that in a torpedo launcher. Oh, I think I see what was... Okay, let's remove those. There we go. Light breaching, light dumbfire. Yeah, okay, these are only 600 megajoule. And the breachers are shield breachers, I think? No, they're shield piercers, okay. So you could take dumbfires with breacher rockets and use that to take out the shield instead of... And then you could carry more plasmas for heavier alpha strike and for easier wearing down. Because what you do when you're wearing down a K's hull is you fire the plasmas in pairs. Bam, 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 to the overheat. Then you switch to the other set of plasmas and you fire those in pairs. When you have 4 of them anyway. So you fire a pair, then you switch to the other pair while the other one cools down. And back and forth and back and forth. That way you can keep the fire more or less continuous and... Yeah. You can wear down a K's shields that way, or at least you used to be able to before the rebalance. But if you brought a dumbfire launcher with light breaching rockets, yeah, that'd work pretty well as a light capital ship killer. And then for the turrets, Bosun Lance got pretty long range now. It looks like they made all the beam weapons the long range option, basically, which is kind of cool. I think I would prefer those over other options. No flares, you don't need that shit.
Requesting permission to
No
dock.
Marines, you don't need that shit either. It's like an 8 million credit ship. Split shields. I'd probably want to fly this back to Terran space and put, we're gonna call them, not the Terran shields, but the alternative fast recharge delay Terran shields. Whatever the hell they're called again. But once again, I would not take this ship over the Dragon Raider. If I was going to get a Dragon, I'd go get a Dragon Raider, and that's just the way it is. Even if it took me a ton of time to link up with another faction and butter them up enough to let them sell it to me and all that BS. Have my freighters finished? They have, okay. One Okinawa is getting assigned to the solar station. And the other Okinawa is getting assigned to the high-tech factory. Alright, lovely. How are things going here? Yeah, reasonably well. We're up to 16 million in store. Go ahead and pull those funds down a little bit. Okay. We're making pretty solid money. We're still buying some gas. We're still buying some energy cells. I'm going to go ahead and turn off purchasing energy cells, because we have a decent supply of that. We'll continue buying metallic microlattice and gas, but once we get some large gas miners, that'll change as well. How much money do I have right now? 19 mil. All right, so we're finally starting to see some serious cash flow. How are things going over here? Okay, the first of the living quarters is up, which is good. Workforce moved over here because, of course it did, for no good reason. Okay.
Requesting permission to dock. Docking permission granted.
Optimal number of workers is 1,400. It'll take it way too long to grow to that number, but I gotta find a mod to make workforce grow faster. Workforce growth rate in the vanilla game is just insane. We're slowly losing money because we're buying all that methane. Which means we probably should buy them a large methane miner. Hokkaido gas.
Game saved.
What the hell are these loadouts? Alright, let's fix this up a little bit. No turrets. Let's give them better scanners. I don't think that affects anything. Cargo drones. We'll give them 2 cargo drones. The rest will be all gas collectors. For crew, we want max service crew, of course. Alright. That should be good. 5.3 million. We could buy 2 of these. We probably should. Actually, we could buy 3 of these. We probably should. We'll need to ship in some silicon carbide to get the last 1 or 2 of them. The first one being made right now? Yes, okay. So we need to ship in silicon carbide for the rest of them. What are you doing? Sitting around with your thumb up your ass? Okay. Kind of in the wrong spot to do anything useful. Snail, where are you going? You're selling energy cells, okay. I need you to buy materials we don't actually have available, okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I'll worry about the rest of that later. We really only need one of them right now. The rest of them are just for future needs. Alright, so we got about 2 minutes before that Hokkaido's ready. We'll assign it to the food station. That should help stop the bleeding as far as its funds go. Well, this thing's on the move. It's going to go pick up energy cells and deliver them. It's more or less what I had envisioned for it to do most of the time. Okay.
Hokkaido. Mineral.
It's got your ride. Okay, mine for Commander Verbeta. Save me from having to spend all that money on gas. Okay.
Container magnet activated. Container magnet deactivated.
Nice. Free space fly eggs. There's more loot over here. Let's go grab it.
Container magnet activated.
Unstable crystal. Lodestone. Lodestone. And there's something else over here. Even more lodestone. I'll probably want that shit later, so. It's worth making sure I grab as much of it as I can now. want all the lodestone I can get for making, what are you gonna call them? EMPs. Which I am probably going to want for stealing station blueprints. Assuming I can get to there before I reach the point where I don't need any more station blueprints. Okay.
Container magnet deactivated.
That's most of what I see out here. Do you think this asteroid field has any crystals in it? It probably does. There's entirely too many flashy lights around here, though. Not sure which are like satellites or which are supposed to be crystal flashes. Like, I strongly suspect those are not crystal flash. They look too round and green. That looks like a crystal. In fact, I'm pretty sure I see two crystals.
Container magnet activated.
Okay, where's the other one? Right there.
Container magnet deactivated. Container magnet activated.
Okay. Apparently that
Container
base
magnet
lump
deactivated.
doesn't... Nope, there's another one. Okay. This place seems lousy with them.
Container magnet activated. Container magnet deactivated.
Thought I saw a flash that wasn't. Okay, maybe not. I see two green flashes, but they're not what we're looking for. People have entirely too many satellites around this area.
Container magnet activated.
Not really seeing any other crystal flashes. I'm not sure. Real quickly, they added some bullshit where after you've collected just a couple crystals from a particular field, they stop spawning for a while. That was a while ago. I was kind of hoping they would have reverted that, because it definitely made crystal hunting a lot less fun. Certainly less lucrative. Because there was a time where if you knew what to do, you could find a nice asteroid field and lurk around a little bit and easily and relatively quickly get enough money to buy your first mining ship. Oh well.
Container magnet activated.
Old stone. Making that money? Supposedly.
Container magnet deactivated.
Let's see. Do they build... Nope, those Tokaidos are still died up. Let's see. What are you doing? Nothing? Alright. Ore's a little low, but a couple of Kaidos are going to be there to top that off soon. Station accounts aren't building as fast as I'd like. Okay. I definitely need to assign... Like, most of the money we're spending here is going out to buy gases. I need to assign both of those Hokkaidos to this station once I get them. Speaking of which, the place where we assigned the third Hokkaido we bought, the one that we actually were able to get... What are you doing? I think I'm going to go ahead and set this to only buy from us for now. Workforce is still pitifully tiny here. It looks like we don't have much of anything in stock. We actually have quite a lot. But we have a ton of storage on this station. Also, this thing's getting close to done building. Okay.
Asteroid.
Just gonna grab this lodestone over here.
Flight assist deactivated. Container magnet activated. Container magnet deactivated.
All right. All right. Oh, Why do I have 5 freighters assigned to this place? There's no way I need that many baldricks assigned to it.
Game saved.
Okay. That one's hauling energy cells in. That one's hauling energy cells in. That one's not doing shit. That one's hauling in energy cells. That one's hauling in energy cells. Okay. Well, I guess that explains why the energy cells are actually filling up. Hopefully, eventually they'll get around to selling the actual food and medical supplies we have in stock. Or at least hauling them to stations that need them. Although we don't actually really have a station that needs them that badly. This place, we've got enough to last for a little while. We're up to 12% workforce efficiency. Supposedly. Although if you look here, we're only getting 102% production. A little odd. There's some silicon carbide in stock. We should deliver
Travel mode
that.
activated. Engine stopped.
Not what I wanted to do. Is there a freighter around here somewhere that's not busy? Okay, the snail is going to go pick up energy cells. How about we don't do that? Instead, grab some silicon carbide. Unfortunately, not enough. Dump it here. then buy energy cells. Okay. That'll work. Although both of those Hokkaidos are done anyway. Let's order one of them to mine for the high-tech factory. And the other... I don't think I need... How much methane are we consuming an hour? 4,800. We're delivering more than double that from a single Hokkaido. Alright, I think one Hokkaido can more than keep up with methane consumption. Whereas this thing... Yeah, let's go ahead and turn off buying gases. The only thing we're going to buy from the public now is metallic microlattice because the margins on that are just too small to be worth it. So I guess we're going to assign that Hokkaido. To the high-tech factory here. Yeah, that should work. I don't need it anywhere else quite yet. That's probably more gas miners than we actually need. Well, almost certainly more gas miners. But it does mean I don't have to worry about getting more of them, so... I guess we'll see in a little bit if it's enough or not. Oh, there's a K that was dumb enough to come through.
K.
It's gonna blow up before I could get over there and do anything about it. Otherwise, I absolutely would go shoot it up a bit, see if I could get money out of it. That, and I'm pretty sure even if I could go shoot it, I wouldn't be able to do enough of the damage to matter.
Container.
However, that doesn't mean we can't go pick up the loot it just dropped.
Travel mode activated.
Yeah, that K really didn't make it very far.
Engine stopped. Container magnet activated.
Italy, a lot of this loot around here is not strictly from the K.
magnet deactivated.
Okay, is that everything? Pretty much. Okay. Now. I might need some regular miners. No, not really. This station just doesn't have enough storage is the real problem. Which, considering it was, and still is to a large degree, just a thrown together cheap piece of crap. Not too surprising. How much money does this guy think he needs? I think we're just going to let him collect money on his own until he starts transferring it to the main account. Because it's not like a super station where they never will transfer money to the main account. Or at least never with any sane time period. That station's small enough that it could be expected to eventually start forking the cash over. Look at everything arriving to pick up energy cells. A lot of it's ours, but not everything. Sounds like shit's blowing up somewhere.
Travel mode activated.
We might need to buy a couple more large miners. Don't know yet. We shouldn't need any more large gas miners. I think that's all covered. But I don't really think I'll need more large miners even. Maybe one. I think we're okay on freighters.
Engine stopped.
Okay, that's coming together nicely. Okay, we have 1,200 workers. Okay, silicon carbide, copper substrate are piling up. Okay, there's no more outsider ships coming in to drop off any supplies. So that's all good. Okay. Okay. I could probably use a few more freighters. If I transferred a couple of the large freighters to the solar power plant. Let's see, what do you have for freighters? You have one large and one small. So if we transferred like 2 of the large freighters to the solar plant, and then transferred a couple of the small freighters from the pharmaceutical plant to the high-tech factory, that might be a better mix. Okay. However, we have to make sure they had a good enough crew to fly all the way out here. Okay, what'd you trade? Silicon carbide? Okay. Silicon carbide is good money.
Requesting permission to
Everybody needs it. Nobody has enough of it right now. Okay. I'm really not selling it fast enough. But at the same time, not producing it fast enough either. I think it might be time to build a second station. Of course, if I do that, then I need to okay, so the real question is, do I build a mining station instead? Because if I build a mining station somewhere around here, like even out in the middle of the field maybe, then I can have all the miners in the area mine into that, and then use some large miners to ship it. Not sure if that'd be more efficient or not than just building a station that consumes the resource directly. Um, 10,000 ores coming in. Okay. The station really does not have enough storage, but I don't want to rip it all apart and build new. It's kind of a legacy station. At this point, it's not terribly well designed, but it was what I had when I built it. I kind of need more money to buy ships if we're going to put in a second station. Okay, I keep saying second station. It would actually be the fourth station, but like the second main production station. There we go.
Game saved.
The energy production station and the food production station hardly count. It's like, what do we even have assigned to this thing? As far as ships go. Okay, discounting all the bolos. One Hokkaido more than makes up for those. We have 2 Hokkaido gas and 5 Hokkaido mineral. How are we doing on gas? Okay, gas is staying pretty high. That's like 40, 50 million worth of ships that we need to have. Which is definitely not an insurmountable problem. Okay. Energy cells are full. Which is fine, TM. Ice is fine. We're building up quite a stock of food. Okay. So I built another production station. I'd probably want it to be on the same basic scale, but built more efficiently. So I'd likely use the same footprint as these stations, and additionally use the same basic floor plan as far as the top level goes, with the corner piers and the center dock. But then underneath that I'd put obviously the actual production areas and more storage areas and all that fun shit. Would I want to put it in Mars is the other question. What materials do we need for this again? Ore and silicon are the big ones, obviously. Hydrogen and methane are the others, okay. Okay. I could put it like right here. And there would probably be enough resources in this field to easily get everything I needed. Yeah, let's go ahead and at least start planning it. Let's do a new standard size plot. Let's stick it right there in the corner. Buy license. Boom. Okay. Now.
Requesting permission to dock. Docking permission granted.
Let's strip off everything that makes this a food and medical supply station. Okay. I think I want 4. Okay, that'll work great actually. Okay. There we go. And then we want 4 silicon carbide to go with it. Same exact station, just efficient this time. Just snap into... Okay, there we go. Okay. Now, Let's check all this. Large dock, pier, pier, pier. Storage, 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 storage. Coptronic substrate, silicon carbide. And the living quarters. That's not even at the beginning of how many living quarters have to be added to this thing, but that seems like a problem for future Milo. We'll probably have a big old pinwheel of living quarters in the bottom of this. But this should be a reasonable core of the station. Let's save this for later reuse. Confirm changes.
Sure, scan anytime.
All clear.
Hire a builder.
No surprise there.
Alright. Now eventually we're going to have to haul materials out there to that place, but I'll worry about that. Soon. How much is it actually going to take to build? I forgot to check. Probably a few thousand. Okay. 1900 Computronic, 2400 silicon carbide. The energy cells are already being delivered, so that's good.
Please halt. We'll be scanning your cargo hold. Go ahead.
Okay, so the problem is Computronic and silicon carbide are our main sources of income. And we're low on ore, okay. We've got a couple of Kaidos on the way in. But I suspect we probably need another large miner anyway, just to keep up with that. How much is this guy going to fill his accounts before he starts sending money to me? Guess we'll see. Okay, we're producing... So basically we need an hour's production of silicon carbide to build that station as it stands. So let's go ahead and stop selling silicon carbide. Yeah, I'll stop selling it to the public. I'm going to keep selling Computronic substrate, because we have less of a problem with not having enough of that most of the time.
Requesting permission to dock.
I'll likely want to grab some of that up and ship it manually. If I have a freighter laying around here, it might be a good time to chip at least a little bit starting now, so we can get a start. What are you doing? Nothing? Okay, well, you've got a job now. Oh, well. Now you're going to go pick up MREs, okay. Sure, you do that. Alright. You, once you're done delivering your materials, go ahead and load up all the materials we have in stock. Take them out to the new factory. And dump them into the build storage. It's a tiny drop in the bucket of what we're going to need eventually, but at least get them started. Now, do I need another Hokkaido? Or are you going to be okay? They're consuming 72,000 ore and silicon per hour. We probably need another Hokkaido. Or 3. How much money do I personally have right now? 4 million. Okay, that is not enough to buy a Hokkaido. We could get enough to buy several Hokkaidos by pulling it out of the high-tech factory coffer, but I'm hoping to let that fill to the point where it'll start sending me money automatically, so I won't have to go there and pull out of it all the time. I wish that there was an option I could set to specify manually how much I want to have pulled out and how much I want them to maintain, instead of them picking out automatic amounts, which are almost never same. Because the automatic amount that a station manager thinks he needs is usually insanely high. Because they always think they need a certain amount of operating budget. I think it's based on how much production the station has. But the thing is, if the station has all of his own miners and stuff like that, he doesn't need to buy materials, and therefore he doesn't need even a tiny fraction of the budget he thinks he does. But anyway.
Requesting permission to dock.
Docking permission granted.
Come on, you have 22 million. That's a solid 5 million more than you think you need in your... Okay. Oh well.
Please hold. We'll be scanning your cargo hold. Go ahead and scan. We found nothing. You can go.
One thing I should do...
Long-range scan mode activated.
Ping around a little bit real quick and see if there's any stations I don't know about. Because they have built quite a few new stations. But I think I've identified them all. At least all the ones that are nearby. There's something going up over there. I should go satellite.
Travel mode activated.
You know, it is only 10 million for a Terran trade. What do y'all call it? Subscription. That might be worth picking up. I don't remember if that reveals all stations to you or anything. I think it does.
Entering Venus. Factory.
In any case, it certainly wouldn't be a bad thing.
Satellite deployed.
Oops. Didn't actually mean to do that. Oh well, it's just a basic satellite. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go put a advanced satellite. I think I have one on board. Over.
Engine stopped.
Here-ish somewhere. Oh, that is an advanced satellite.
Advanced satellite.
Let's go pick that up. I don't want to waste that.
Travel mode activated.
It's not like advanced satellites are super expensive, but also there's no need to waste one in an area that's already covered. Right there above us is the first module of our future new station.
Engine stopped.
All right. Let's go put another advanced satellite over there to get better coverage of the asteroid field.
Travel mode activated.
I already covered pretty much all of this with resource probes, so
Empty space. Engine stopped. Satellite deployed.
that's pretty decent coverage of the area. Okay. And I might want to go put another one right over here. Because I would get the rest of this area covered. And we'd have the whole inner sector covered.
Travel mode activated. Empty space.
What's out here again? Oh, Computronic substrate fab. Is this still the only Computronic substrate fab the Terrans have? I think it might be. Man, the Terran economy is just sad. I can't complain too loudly because one reason why we're making money hand over fist from our honestly quite small and not that well put together station.
Engine stopped. Satellite deployed.
Alright, lovely. Nice, consistent coverage of the whole system. Beautiful. Now. Ugh. Okay, the ore is built back up. Silicon's getting low again. Of course, all the Hokkaidos are delivering ore. Why wouldn't they? Workforce is growing very slowly. You know, while we wait for things to happen, let's go see if we can find a mod to increase workforce. Is this the one that's bugged? I don't want to habitat capacity. I just want workforce to increase faster. So I don't have to wait a million years for it to fill up. Like this one seems to change a lot more shit just from the first glance. Yeah. This doesn't do what I would want it to do either. It doesn't actually make it grow faster. It just makes it so that station is workforce is 10 times better for 10x the cost as well. Which means you need less workforce modules, which we don't need. I just need faster workforce growth. Yeah. Okay, remember correctly, this mod is bugged. Okay, I remember correctly, I had to tweak. I think this is the one that yeah, this is the one that I had to make some tweaks to. I used it before, and I had to do some changes to make it work. I don't even know if it works in the current version. This is the same mod, just different page. Like, surely there's a mod that just increases the base workforce growth somewhere. Because I can't be the only person who finds it to be actually obnoxious. And I suppose I could go groveling around in the game files and figure out how it works. Like, this would be the number to increase, because that would increase the base growth rate without changing anything else. Oh well. I suppose the proper solution is just for me to go digging through it and figure out how to make a mod that fixes the problem. Okay, we need a manager now. Where? There we go. Role, manager, boom, skill. Unsurprisingly, the best manager in the Empire is a manager of a factory. The rest are mostly captains. You, service crew aboard the forequarter. Congratulations. You get to go over here and be a factory manager. Enjoy. Okay. We better deliver more resources soon. Okay. Now. Oh, I have 14 million now. I must have received a money delivery from... Yeah, he shipped me 10 million a little while ago. Okay. That's good. We have 700 silicon carbide. Do I have a freighter sitting around here who's not busy? Floor quarter, what are you doing? You aren't doing shit. All right. We need to get one of the big freighters out here, though. I'll snag one next time I see it. Well, actually, right here's an Okinawa. What are you going for? Buy MREs? Well, here, why don't you not do that? Load up on supplies instead. And then load up on MREs. Okay. Lovely. Okay. We seem to be doing fine on silicon and ore again. We just need to have more storage for this factory, but once again, I do not want to retrofit it, so it's not going to happen. Build a new one? That is exactly
Engine stopped.
what is happening. There's a new one right over here that is a functional copy. As in, it's got the same amount of production on it, but it's got way more storage. And it's probably cheaper overall because it uses the large storages instead of the small storages. That's why that other factory is such a crap basket. It's a bunch of small storages because they didn't really have the cash to buy large storage at the time. But obviously that no longer pertains. Oh well. Wait, didn't I order all this loaded out? I did, it just hasn't docked yet. Okay. Okay. Required construction, 1 dock area and silicon carbide production, 50,000 solid storage, 70,000 container storage. Estimated minimum build cost, 2.2 million. And they will pay us cost plus 50%. Not worth it. mean, maybe it's worth it, but I don't want to ship the area up with a bunch of stations that aren't mine. Okay, so how are you doing on food and such like?
Game saved.
Okay, pretty decent. Went to the lake yesterday, went tubing and swimming. Out from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. Got trapped in an elevator. Had fire marshal scheduled for new permits. Had plenty of other happy coincidences like that all happening at the same time. That sounds perhaps more exciting than initially planned for. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to get yourself trapped in an elevator. I mean, in case you hadn't figured that out. At least it was you in the elevator because you know how they work and how to open them from the inside. Yeah, just think how much more exciting it could have been if it was some random dumbass from the whoever building tenants were. Get some fat old HR lady stuck in there, and
Travel mode activated.
that would
Pharmaceutical goods factory.
definitely be a problem for the ages. So I think at this point, we're just going to focus on building that station up and saving our money. Because we're going to need a lot of money to buy the ships to equip that station for full production.
Engine stopped.
Bonk. At least it wasn't higher up in the building, too.
Requesting permission to dock.
After all, the closer to the ground it is, the better when it's not working.
Hokkaido gas.
Just had a 3-foot drop to the ground when the door opened. How does this actually look like? I haven't really taken a close look at these. I guess these are supposed to be algae tanks. They don't really look much like how you would. Yeah. Oh well.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Think I can fit? Nah. So how many? I think I kind of figured out how many I was going to need. About 7 or 8 miners. These medium miners hardly matter. I could probably get one large miner and replace all those small ones. The 2 gas miners are probably plenty. So 6 mineral miners, 2 gas miners. That's still a lot of money. Like a Hokkaido. $5.2 million. Talking probably close to 50 million by the time we get everything into it. Which means we need every little bit of money we can get out of this other factory so we can buy those ships. Yeah, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. We should have the money in time. See if I can grab another freighter. Snail, what are you doing?
Requesting permission to dock.
Nothing?
Docking permission granted.
Go ahead and load up on materials. Okay. I'd really like one of the large freighters, but I'm not sure where they're all at. Where are they all? This one is collecting food. And this one is collecting energy cells. Okay. Okay. That's fine, as long as they're busy. I'd like them to deliver supplies to the new station, but it's not immediately required. Although it will be required soon. Keep an eye out, see if I can grab one of them when it comes in. We actually might have too many miners. Okay. Find that a little hard to believe. Okay, you know what? Is there anywhere I can jam large storages onto this thing? Not really. Not without cutting out existing storage tiers, and that would be too disruptive.
Requesting permission to dock.
Docking permission.
Yeah, okay, fine. Note to self. Don't use small storages. Ugh. I already know better than doing that, but I was pretty desperate for cash at the time and needed to save every little bit to get my hands on. And also, I didn't have the resources to build larger storages. They were too expensive. What I really should have done is build that station to a bare minimum and then build a second one to a better design right beside it. But that would have slowed down my industry a good bit. Purely because I would have had to build 2 docking complexes and so on. Also, those blueprints weren't free. Got a large freighter coming in yet? Okay, where are those large freighters? This one is docking. And that one is just leaving. Okay. So they were both about as far away as they could possibly be. Okay, you don't have any orders? Okay. Like, I don't want to grab one of the large freighters when it's a long ways away and give it an order, because by the time it finally gets over here, Well, I've made a ton more materials.
Permission to dock. Docking permission granted.
Oh well. Hmm.
Please halt. We will be scanning your cargo.
Looks like about 35 more minutes till we're done building living quarters on here for good.
All clear. You can be on your way.
Although realistically we're already done because we have reached a workforce capacity that is equal to the requirements. The last two are just to fill out the pattern. Baldric delivering medical supplies. How much are we consuming? 2K medical supplies an hour. 2K food per hour. Okay. Hmm. It's not too bad. Do we have all the miners we need here? Yes, we should. I might want to move some of the small miners over there eventually. All right. We're currently not making nearly as much money as we could
Docking permission granted.
because I'm too busy selling the resources or sending the resources to the new factory. So we're not selling them all like we could. All right, you're not busy. You know what happens with freighters that aren't busy? They get to load up on materials. Okay, here comes an Okinawa. This is the one delivering MREs. Okay, yeah. Sadly, these things are kind of slow because I didn't buy good engines for them. However, they're not that much slower than if I had bought the better engines. It's just large freighters are slow in general. But they can haul so much, it's worth it. Here's the energy cell one. Here. Oh, you're trading.
Game saved.
Pick up a load of silicon carbide. And then go drop it off here on your way back. Okay. We're getting a good portion of the materials delivered. Soon we're going to want to stop selling computronic substrate and switch over to selling silicon carbide so that I can start shipping all the computronic substrate in here. We've got enough to finish building the piers, so I'm not too worried about having to do that just right away.
Requesting permission to dock.
Docking permission granted.
Okay. We're loading out all the silicon carbide that's there, so... all the large freighters would be there and available right about the time we don't actually have anything to haul. Oh well.
Please halt. We will be scanning your cargo hold.
Go ahead and scan.
All clear. You can be on your way.
And what is behavior inspection mode? That doesn't seem useful. Unless there's something to it that's not obvious. Oh well. Is there a freighter? Okay, you, what are you doing? Nothing at the moment. Go ahead and load up my materials. Okay. I think that should be all we need at the moment.
Requesting
I'm gonna have these two
Docking permission granted.
Xenon ships here. Explore the sector. See if I can get him to uncover all of the unknown area. That'd probably be useful. Okay. How's the power plant doing? It's as full of energy cells as it always is. Not too surprising. It's continuing to make me money, albeit a bit slowly. That thing's way overbuilt, but
We found something out here.
found a lockbox. I really don't care about whatever random ass lockbox you found. Although I suppose I should go check it out. Not like I have anything better to do.
Flight assist deactivated. Travel mode activated.
It's not like I have anything better to do. At this point, it's no longer really
Entering
worth
Mars.
doing missions because the missions are all,
Lockbox.
they don't pay that well. And I would honestly make more just sitting around not doing anything than I would doing the mission. And obviously missions still pay you more than what you would have gotten if you did nothing, but also to get my money I have to do the mission.
Engine stopped.
Blech. Okay, this thing's wired to blow. How about we don't
Chimera.
touch that with our ship? First of all, I'm going to see if I can bump it to straighten it out. It's not spinning quite so quickly.
Engine stopped. Engine stopped. Engine stopped.
Okay, did that change its rotation at all? Not so as you'd notice. Yeah, okay.
Primary weapon group 4 selected.
Okay, there goes one lock.
Lockbox.
Alright.
Chimera. Docking granted. Chimera.
Out of my seat.
Sir,
Container magnet activated. Container magnet deactivated.
we found something out here.
Alright, where's this other lockbox they found?
Lockbox.
Sure, let's go check it out.
Travel mode activated.
Lockboxes are annoying, but they do give me stuff. And I'm gonna need, since I don't have the mod that lets you craft ship upgrade components anymore, I'm going to need to get every single one of those I can. And lockboxes are probably the way to get them.
Engine stopped.
I wonder...
Game saved.
You can't bump it with the ship. You probably could, but the auto avoidance is
Chimera.
bumping me away from it. I'd have to turn the auto avoidance off, and while that is kind of tempting for other reasons.
Lockbox.
Okay, why is it...
Engine stopped.
Hold still, damn you. Alright.
Chimera. Docking granted. Engine stopped.
Out of my seat,
Chimera.
please.
Sir,
Container magnet activated.
Basic shield generator coil.
Container magnet deactivated.
Sure, don't mind if I do.
Asteroid.
Oh, there's some lodestone over there. I could go pick up. Destroy any Xenon ship.
I knew I could count on you.
Grab that. That's for 12 ships. Okay. Alright, how far away is this lodestone?
Travel mode activated.
Alright, it's right over there. Let's just hop over there and grab it.
Engine stopped. Container magnet activated.
Alright, there should be another lump of it around here somewhere as well. Yeah, there's so much crap around here that it's hard to...
Container magnet deactivated. Asteroid.
Okay.
Container magnet activated.
And there's some more right over here.
Container magnet deactivated. Asteroid. Container magnet activated. Container magnet deactivated.
Okay, another bit over there.
Asteroid. Container magnet activated.
Maybe I should get one of the fighters I have sitting around here. Set up in this field with orders to collect
Container magnet deactivated.
loot.
Asteroid.
That should clean up all the lodestone and unstable crystals and
Container magnet
space fly
activated.
eggs and other crap like that you find out here.
Container magnet deactivated. Asteroid. Container magnet activated. Container magnet deactivated. Asteroid. Container magnet activated. Container
Okay.
magnet deactivated.
That looks like everything for now. How are things going over here? Okay, we got quite a bit of stuff stockpiled. Is there a freighter sitting around not doing anything? Yes. Okay. We need 5 more silicon carbide. And I think that's all the silicon carbide this place needs. I'm gonna not have that freighter do that. There's not enough for a large freighter to reasonably deliver. Okay, silicon carbide goes back on unrestricted sales. Computronic substrate now gets restricted. All right. And if we go check the other station, basically all the silicon carbide is delivered, but we need a lot more Computronic substrate. It's about ready to, or it has started building the first of the storages. So that's excellent. Means it's a great time to start buying miners soon. Alright, do I have a small... Alright, I want 5 units of silicon carbide. And the rest should be Computronic substrate. Take those over there. There we go. Lovely. Alright. It looks like aside from assigning miners, the Venus factory here is done except for all the waiting. Okay.
Travel mode activated.
No, let's not do that. Are any more of you just sitting around not doing anything? You're busy. You're undocking. You're not doing shit. Okay. Okay, we need about 700 more Computronic substrate to finish that place. Which we will have long before we need it all.
Asteroid. Container magnet activated. Container magnet deactivated.
Okay.
Asteroid.
I'm getting so many spacefly eggs just hanging out around here. If correctly, spacefly caviar sold for a lot of money. I should probably stop at a station and see if I can make any, and if it's
Container magnet activated.
still sells for as much as it used to.
Container magnet deactivated. Asteroid. Container magnet activated. Container magnet deactivated.
This thing can build up some significant speed
Container
under
magnet
thrusters.
activated. Container magnet deactivated. Asteroid. Container magnet activated. Container magnet deactivated. Asteroid.
More spacefly eggs.
Flight assist deactivated. Flight assist deactivated.
Okay.
Container magnet activated. Container magnet deactivated.
Let's go do something we haven't done for a very long
High-tech
time.
factory.
And let's go land on a station.
Travel mode activated.
In this case, one of our own stations.
Engine stopped.
Requesting permission to dock.
Docking granted.
Okay.
Successfully docked.
It's an honor to have you aboard.
Now, do you have anything cool to sell?
Can I help? Here you go.
Probably not, but it's worth a check. Yeah, doesn't look like it. Okay. Let's sell all the trade wares. For not much money.
Good luck out there.
Game saved.
Oh, we need rare spices. Okay. Where in the hell do I get those? Wasn't that kind of some kind of bullshit that you had to buy at a specific faction or something?
Can I help? Here you
I
go.
don't suppose you happen to have rare spices, do you? No. Okay. Well, you're not very useful then now, are you? Oh, well.
Good luck out there.
Apparently it's only worth about $1 million to sell, so...
Sir.
It's like $1 million to sell is
Chimera.
not inconsequential, but also it's not a whole lot of money at this point in the game. I need a lot more than 1 million. Okay, this thing's finally done, looks like. Okay.
Requesting permission to dock.
Docking permission granted.
There's a Baldric arriving to sell MREs. Okay, when you're done selling those MREs, there's some extra crap in the build storage. Pull it out. And then get a full load of Computronic substrate. And deliver it. Okay. It looks like we actually have enough Computronic substrate on hand right now to complete the job. I just need to grab a freighter or two and have them do deliveries. And then we can go back to selling straight time. And then by the time we're ready to put miners to work at the new area, we'll be able to okay, 262 left to go. $48 left to go. Okay.
Requesting permission to dock.
Docking permission granted.
Oh, whoops. Okay. And boom. That should be all the materials available we need to build. Every single one delivered. Well, every single one ordered to be delivered. They will arrive later, of course. We still have like 20 or 30 minutes till we actually need to start assigning miners. Probably a little more. That does mean we can go in here and we can set Computronic substrate to unrestricted again. Okay. Supposedly we're at 21% workforce efficiency. I don't believe that because we look at the efficiency of the actual production. They say much lower numbers. Whatever.
Undocking.
All right. That's such a silly looking station. The cube. How are we doing with production at the pharmaceutical plant? Okay.
Permission to dock.
Resources continue to pile up. Okay. Oh. I suppose at this point, we could sell for a little while to make cash, and then we could start building a third industrial station. Because really, there's no maximum limit on how many industrial stations we can build. We could build a ton of them. And each one will make us money. Hmm. Although I probably shouldn't do that until we buy the miners for the new one here. Speaking of which, I did at least 1,020 metallic microlattice. Do I have a cargo ship that's sitting around not doing anything useful?
Please halt. We'll be scanning your cargo load. Go ahead and scan. We found nothing. You can go.
Okay, you're not doing shit at the moment. I need 1,020.
Requesting permission to dock. Docking permission granted.
Boom. Okay, I should take care of that. That should take care of that. This guy's complaining he doesn't have money, but he doesn't use money for anything, so he can just get stuffed. We're low on energy cells. The snail's coming out of another 10k. But that isn't going to last very long at all. Where are the large freighters that are assigned to this place?
Please halt. We'll be scanning your cargo load. We found nothing. You can go.
Of course we found nothing.
Here. Go get a full load of energy cells. Yeah, we just do not have enough storages. I suppose once we get the other main factory done, we should probably tear a lot of this one down and rebuild it. Minus the workforce, of course, because that part is already pushed up against the outside edges of the area, and I don't want to make that larger. So I just need to rip out the storage sectors and rebuild with larger storages. Which I'm sure I can figure out how to do without too much trouble. Be very disruptive, though. Which is why I don't want to do that. Oh. Yeah, those small storages definitely, they worked for a while, but they're creating problems. They've just started on building the storages here. We've got the solid storage done. We're working on the liquid storage now. And the container storages will be finished, and then we can... Yeah. It's got a ways to go. I should probably also double the size of the food factory. It is, after all, designed to be that large. How much workforce would that make us require? About 3,000, a little under. So we need to add 2 more habitats, which wouldn't be hard. Okay. And while it would double our resource consumption is not very high for this one, at least. It'd be like a little over 10k an hour for ice. About the same for methane. Yeah. Okay. Have our deliveries for the drones. Okay, they're about arrived, according to that. So it should stop yelling at us about drones soon. Is it this one? No, he's selling energy cells. Okay. Is it this one? Yes. Okay, so he is about ready to dock. Alright.
Requesting permission to dock.
Docking permission granted.
I can't wait till all this constant fiddling about with stations is done and I have actual fleet to run around. Even if it's not a very large one. Once I can get a medium ship or two, or not medium, large. Like, how much would it cost us to buy an Osaka right now? I would want Mark III shields because, of course I do. For everything, particularly for the engines, because we do not want to lose those to a bunch of swarming defense drones or some shit. Mark III large shields to protect the hull. Go ahead and add the main batteries, because of course you do. For weapons, for all the large, I definitely want Meson streams, I think. With Mark III shields, so we don't lose them. Okay, now for the medium turrets. The Meson streams have an 8.8k effective range. And they also do a ton of damage. And their hit scan. So I think they're just the way to go for doing what exactly what I want these turrets to do, which is SWAT. Fighters. If I wanted them for anything other than swatting fighters, it might be better to go with something else, but... Okay. So the Osaka doesn't have as many large turrets as a Sin, but it is still pretty robustly armed. And it's got a good number of medium turrets. So it's not a bad ship. It's already up to 42 million though. Okay, repair drones. Repair drones seem to love to get themselves killed. So I don't know if they're a good idea. Also, this could take 1,500 silicon carbide delivered to buy. Which is, in case you wondered, a lot. Okay, 43 million for a well-loaded anti-fighter Osaka. Plus, well, minus the silicon carbide deliveries. $1,576. Okay. I'm gonna save this loadout over... No. I'm gonna save it as beam ship. I want to see what the AA ship preset is. Did I not? There we go. Okay, the AA ship one uses pulse turrets. That's disgusting. No, go away. Beam ship's a lot better. So I would like a couple of these for Even just one of these would probably be enough to invade the moon. Because there's nothing there but light ships and the occasional basic station. But there are a lot of defense drones, so I need something that can take out defense drones reliably. Which, oh look, a ship with tons of beam weapons. Do you think that would work? Maybe. So have to be a little careful with it though. All right. We're out of energy cells still. The ships are still on the way. We should have delivery soon. Another one in a minute. And then another one a few minutes after that. Okay, I believe this is the first of the energy cell deliveries. Yeah, this is where storage is really hurting us, because we've got enough storage for, I think, 30 minutes of factory production, which is insufficient. Any little delay in keeping the station topped up, and next thing you know, and since the energy cells have to be delivered from 2 systems away, they there's a bit of a delay on them. Alright, so the snail's unloading its energy cells, which will get things back up and running. There should be an Okinawa arriving in less than a minute. And then the Okinawa that's arriving in 2 minutes. Okay, this is the Okinawa that's going to be here in less than a minute. And then the 2-minute out one is still on the other side of the... There it is. Okay. Okinawa's gonna be here to unload any minute now. Any minute now.
Permission to dock. Docking permission granted.
And that should deliver 42,000 cells, which would be enough to get the Computronic substrate factories back up and running. And then the last Okinawa will hopefully I'll be able to unload its full cargo as well. Come on, hurry up, finish unloading. taking its time figuring out how to get over to the pier. Oops. This is where it would be nicer to have better sets of thrusters on these ships, but they could turn around faster to dock. The problem is, of course, that it's a relatively small amount of time loss between the better and the worse thrusters, but it's a relatively large amount of money. And for now, I do not have the money. Although someday when I'm building my own ships, we'll have to cycle all these ships through the shipyard to refit with a better grade of stuff.
Requesting permission to dock.
Okay.
Docking permission granted.
Where's that second Hokkaido that just arrived? There it is. Hokkaido, Okinawa. Alright. Am I building a cube? I have already built a cube. This station is complete. At least for certain values of complete. It could definitely use some more storage, but to do that, I'm probably going to gut it, rebuild the core later. Much later. But yeah, it's got worker housing outward facing on all, well, on 5 of the 6 sides. And then the other side is taken up by the docking area. And then the center of the cube is all of its production and storage. It's insufficient storage. Get rid of those energy cells. All right, lovely. Everything is back to the way it should be. Except the silicon's low. Yeah, see, this thing has wildly insufficient storage. So its internal stocks tend to fluctuate between way too low and full to the brim constantly. Which is why the new station, with its much larger storage, is going to be a very welcome improvement. Once it comes online anyway, which won't be for a while. All of the materials are on site. Just need to wait for the build timers to finish. And then assign it a bunch of miners so that it can start working. And freighters and stuff like that. Okay. This place is still running about as well as it always does. Okay. Okay. All is more or less well in the Empire. Well as it ever gets anyway. Okay. Well, it is 10:39, I believe. So, I think it's probably about time to call it. The new factory is coming along quite well. Once that's up and running, it should basically double our production and therefore double our income. Because Terran space is pretty much an insatiable monster when it comes to its requirements for building materials. And then I'm not sure. I'm kind of torn between gutting the cube and rebuilding its juicy interior to have enough storage to not be total shit. Or just going ahead and building a third station and letting the cube limp along with its current inefficient setup. I really want to gut it and build better storage inside of it, though. Because that will make it significantly more efficient. Not sure what kind of layout I want to use for the interior, but I will, of course, leave the living quarters on the outside and then just delete all of everything, all of its production, all of its storage, and then rebuild the core of the station. All fresh and new. Keep the docking set up because there's nothing wrong with that right now. Not for the size of the station, not for size of station it's going to be. This thing makes a good amount of money. It's basically powered my entire empire up till now. But these wild resource swings are a problem. The pharmaceutical goods factory needs to have its other 2 wings added to it. So I can go from 2 wings to 4. And to go with that, it then needs 2 more living quarters added somewhere. Not sure where. Probably on the bottom somewhere. Aside from that, it's been plugging along quite nicely. It's got tons of storage.
Game saved.
So if we actually check here in the protein paste, I believe this time until resources depleted thing means 1 day, 10 hours, and 42 minutes. So it has a little bit more storage than it technically needs. So while it looks like ice is half full, in reality, that's a lot of ice. Yeah. So that doesn't need any larger storage or anything like that. And I did some very rough calculations. I believe that the current set of miners could continue to supply it just fine, even if I doubled its size. It's not a very resource demanding station. So that needs to be done at some point. After all, if I ended up with way too much food and medical supplies for some reason, I can just sell them to the locals. Or even just let the station sit there and not do anything. It's not like it's costing me money or anything. But this station is probably going to be the pattern going forward. I kind of have these living quarters on here purely because might as well get workforce going early. But to actually supply this with sufficient workers requires a lot more than just 4 large living quarters. Like a lot more. But that would be our first 2,000 workers, which takes at least a year and a day to add in anyway. Yeah, aside... I'm going to rename this station to the Cube. I call it that all the time anyway. There. Aside from the Cube's insufficient storage situation, everything's been chugging along pretty well. Anyway, let's save the game. I believe it's this one.
Game saved.
Okay. Tomorrow is Thursday already. Yeah. So I believe we'll be playing some Tomb Raider Underworld tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it'll work. I haven't actually tried to load into any of the maps or anything, but I've loaded into the main menu, and according to what I've read on ProtonDB, it looks like it'll run. And if not, there's some relatively straightforward tweaks that should get it running. Guess we'll find out when we get there. Friday, be some EDF. And then Saturday and Sunday, we will continue with the X4. Hopefully, we'll be out of the stuck waiting for stations to do things part of the game soon. But we'll see. Because I am making enough money now that it is reasonable that I would be able to buy at least one large ship before long. And if I can get a large anti-fighter ship and sail it into the moon, we can hopefully clear out some stuff there. And that should keep us busy while the stations build back home. So then we can come back to a nice large pile of money and start hopefully working on ship production so we can have actual fleets. But we'll see. We got a little ways yet before we can do that. But anyway, Monday, Crab Champions, I believe. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, even to more X4. Yeah. I don't see any reason to change the schedule there just yet. For tonight, though, it looks like we actually have choices. Ooh. Zarius is playing Once Human. Avi's playing Project Zomboid. And Noms is playing Skyrim. Noms, what are you up to? Let's go see what Noms is doing. It's called X4 because you have to play it 4 times a week to get anywhere. It is a very slow game to get going, at least with these mods. Without the mods, it's a little faster. Well, it would help if I typed things correctly. Okay. Hopefully, I see you all back here tomorrow for some research on Lara Croft. And I will see you all later. Good night. And goodbye.